Hello and welcome to the Tower of Rough Endoplasmic Reticulum mobile guide. To make your way over to the tower, you can go up to the sky lobby, drop down on this side. There's this hole right there, and then you can turn around and it'll be right inside this house. Tour, it's pretty fun. It's alright compared to most of the other Insanes. The nets are nice. However, the raw diff can get a bit above extreme in some places, so make sure you practice this tower and don't take the nets for granted. It's like TOEI. If you don't practice, you will be stuck for a while and it can get quite aggravating. Alright. So you start off the tower, you go over here onto this conveyor, and then jump off the very top of the slope onto here. You can go do that in first person and aim to climb. Just careful, pretty basic jumps, flick off there, do this like a one-step fit in, and then flick in there. Be careful on that jump, turn around, hold jump off that. Make sure you time this, jump onto the spinner. Then exit shift lock, do the jump like so. Don't change your direction at all, the slope, move back and then to the right and tuck into the platform. You have some time before you need to jump off. Don't hold jump a bit later on that. You have some time before it disappears. Jump down onto this X pusher, move it forward, jump and then do a 180 on there. Just be careful, walk across there. It's just a half step in the middle. Go backwards to forwards like that. Be careful on here, jump off. Go to the very front, do this like a long jump. Then just walk off onto here. Just hold walking to the left on that part. Jump up there, jump from around slightly below the middle of those slopes. Jump on the left side of there. Just be careful on this. Flick up to here and then wait for it to line up exactly as the indicator shows, and then jump off a little bit later than you think. And this does have a TP net, so you don't need to worry as long as you're close. Climb up here, do this like a head hitter, jump off from the very top of the slope. Wait here, and then corner clip. Flick around to this side, and then exit shift lock, jump off. Wait for it to go in before doing that, and then wait for it to go in and go to the edge. Jump around to the side like a wrap and hold jump off to start. Jump late on that. Do this like this. You can go backwards or just turn around normally. And then again, jump a bit later than you think off there. Go on the inside there. Do it like a wiggle wrap. Careful on that jump. And then the zip line will drop you all the way down here. Just like a one-step fit in. And then I'd recommend going in first person for this section. Careful on that. Walk across. Flick out onto the ladder. Tuck in there. Aim to climb that, or you can do it like so. Walk off from that stud. You can also, on that last one, you can go into shift lock just to line it up a bit better. Now you've got this, and this is just a permanent net basically. And then you can use slashy dance too. And then enable shift lock when you're all the way to the right, and then hold jump to get under there. Then you gotta climb up here. Now it'll go fast, and then after that it'll go slow. So after it goes fast, then jump through there. Be careful on here. Come up this ladder, jump to the middle, and then do that backwards. You can just do that like a long jump. Again, just wrapping carefully there. Hold jump off that. Then ledge grab, climb down a bit to about there, and then flick in. Go forward facing onto here, jump into this gap and jump up. Jump and aim to climb that. Basic grab. Be careful on this. Jump late. Wait till you're on one of the higher platforms and then jump to the ladder. Go over here and aim to climb. Flick in there. Jump late and make sure to not glide on the corner. This is easier than you think. Just set it up and then go sideways to jump through there. Just be careful on all of these. Watch out for the sharp corners. They can slow you down a ton if you bump into them the wrong way. Jump much earlier than you think on that jump. The platform is very short. Again, go a bit wider than you think. Be careful of the corners. Practice 3, practice 4, practice 5. Otherwise, you'll be stuck here for a while. Jump off like so. wait for it to go low, jump onto the very front, go under, and then flick off here. Ignore that. You can go in first person and walk across, or just do it in shift lock. This is 1 star wide, so take it tighter than you think. Flick in at the end of that platform, jump over to here, jump onto the ladder, and then go against the very back like that. Then do a bit of a wrap at the start before turning sideways to avoid getting pushed off. Jump around onto here. Then on this, make sure you're going backwards. Don't go forwards like this. You have to go backwards. Line this up, jump onto there, climb up this ladder. Careful there. Again, lots of just simple gameplay. Flick in there. Set this up like a long jump, and then jump off from about that height. Jump out to the half stud. Be careful not to touch the kill bricks. I think they teleport you. Flick in there. Do that 180 motion. Jump down to here. Go in first person. Do this walk around. Be careful onto this half stud, and then jump onto the ladder. Be careful. Make sure you don't touch the kill brick. Flick around, do 180 there, and then shift flick off this. Some more simple jumps. Push against the wall and then flick out at the end. Be careful on here. Again, tensor wrap, line it up. Go like this, and then wait for it to come around, and then just hold jump off it. Be careful on that. Make sure not to bonk into the corner, and then do that like a corner flip. Tap on the middle of the screen. Go onto the half stud, 45 degrees. Careful under there. This thing moves, so be careful. Jump off it right away. And now, if you touch the neon part, you will lose the button and have to backtrack. So be careful. Go under it. Jump up to here. Go a bit farther left than you think you need to, just to be safe. Do this like a long jump. Make sure to go farther to the left so you don't touch the neon at all. I like to do this backwards. Pretty simple jump. So you get used to it. Again, practice, practice, practice. It'll help you the most on this. Forward facing across there, and then it just wall hop up here. Now you can go either side for most of this floor. Just do whatever feels comfortable to you. I like going around here, flick in there. Careful, jump from the back, and then aim to climb that. Long jump, and then I do this side, a tensor wrap, and then jump a lot later than you think. The conveyor is quite slow. Be careful here, walk onto the ladder, and then flick off. Shift flick or flick off there, and then aim to climb that. Now jump to the back of this and then flick up. Careful, jump late there, and then I like to go forward facing and then turn sideways at the end. Just set this up. You can build a bit of momentum like so. Flick onto there. Be careful on that. Careful on that. And then jump over to here. Go on this. Wait for the balls to be lined up and drop down. You're basically on 6, which is the second to last net of the tower. Jump up here. Do this tensor wrap. Be super careful. You don't want to fail here because this is right before the net. And then long jump from almost the top of that platform onto the slope. Then push up against the slope, 45 degrees to 45 degrees. And jump up and hit the teleporter. Now you can get this, and this will unlock a little circle thing. And from now on, you cannot fall below this point. Unless you die, you are permanently halfway through the tower. Drop down onto here. Careful on this jump. Walk along the truss, flick over to here, and then make sure to walk forwards into the gap, aim to climb. Jump late off that conveyor. Flick in there like so. Wait for these things to pass, and then go quickly, do it nonstop. Another tensor of the wrap, flick in at the end. Careful on here. Jump, okay. Flick off the truss and then jump around to the side there. Fit in the gap. If you mess this part up, you might need to hit the button again to reset it. Jump around here. Climb up to the middle of the slope and jump onto the one stud. Climb up the ladder there. Flick in there. Be careful. Pretty simple wrap. Flick off the truss there. Grab this button. Wait a little longer. It'll do this like bounce back motion, so make sure you're patient here. Wait for it to come to a complete stop. Flick off onto there. Jump onto the truss and flick, aim to climb. Jump and then just inch your way down. I actually got pushed off by the button, but it doesn't matter. And after you've gotten that, this will unlock. Flick up to here. It'll automatically move you here. Angle like so. Be careful not to touch the kill brick or you'll be teleported back. Go in first person for this section. Careful on these half studs. Pretty simple walk around. Go to the end of the truss and then flick up here. Flick around and onto the platform. Jump a bit farther to the left than you think, just to avoid hitting the kill brick. You can walk off here. I like to do this in first person. Get like this and then turn around and walk onto here. Just walk. Pretty simple. Now you gotta go over here to get the button. Just inch your way through the gap. Just look where you're going. Make sure you don't bonk on any walls. Doesn't matter a ton because 6 is netted, but you don't want to fail this. And then you'll get sent back here where you can do this gameplay. Jump onto the ladder, flick off, jump around, just ignore that second ladder. Jump to the truss, flick over to here. Careful. On this X pusher, aim forward facing there. Flick off. Jump late. Make your way up to here. Flip over here. Careful through that gap. Flip again. Your camera changes colors. It doesn't affect the gameplay. These extend a stud out from the wall, like the shadow blocks on Jtoh fact. And then for this jump, you're going to want to jump, corner flip to hit the button, and then corner flip again to land back on the platform. Just double tap as fast as you can. Be careful on this jump. Set out like this, and then take it a bit wider than you think so you don't bonk into the wall and lose your speed. Flick off onto here. Drop down. Push this platform. Again, it just extends one stud out and then wrap out like so. Long jump onto here. Go forward facing. Aim to climb that. Do a bit of a wiggle to get through that gap, and then jump. That's a bit farther than you think. 45 degrees to 45 degrees there. Wrap out a bit. This jump is pretty far. Jump late and then land sideways onto the platform. Go on the right side there, and then just be careful on these jumps. Not super difficult. Flick off there. Wrap gently around the cylinder, and then tap, jump up, like immediately after, and then flip again to land that jump. Then jump down onto this truss, climb to the very bottom of the truss, and then flick off onto the push box, or the X pusher. Jump inside this one stud gap, and then jump off onto here. Careful, make sure you line yourself up. And then you're going to want to go to like the inner corner of the star to jump onto the sphere. And then once again, jump onto the inner corner, and then move to the outer edges of the star to jump off. Basic jump. Flick in at the end of that, don't get caught on the wall, and then tap the middle of your screen mid-jump. Do that jump backwards, hold jump on this conveyor, and then be careful, aim to grab the truss, although you don't really have to. Just go out fully outside there. Jump, you can skip them, just make sure you don't get caught by the wall. I like to just rush through it, and you should be able to adapt. The platforms take a while to disappear. Alright, so you're going to want to jump onto this specific one and aim to climb it. And then you're going to go backwards to corner flip through there. Lock your rotation on this jump and hold forward at the end to slot into the gap. Flick off this ladder, go before the slope to do this jump. And then aim forward facing onto the sphere. Walk onto this ladder, flick and jump late. This is kind of a hard jump. Be careful not to bonk on the wall there. Climb up here, now you're on 8. Long jump up here, be careful on this jump. Do a bit of a wiggle motion there. Then get into this lodge walk, jump and then turn. And then be in shift and jump out onto that side of the truss. Be careful on these jumps. Flick around onto the X pusher. Do a 180 there, or you can just go backwards, it's up to you. Jump and shift to get in this lodge walk, and then again do a bit of a turning motion coming out of it to land that jump. Shift flick off this. Inch your way into this gap, ledge grab, and you can just walk sideways through it and shift to get back up. Long jump onto here, be careful on these jumps. You can kind of save below if you fall. And then just shift flick off here. Then make sure you don't bonk on the corner, take that a bit wider than you think, and flick around here to get back on the inside. Just be careful, just a long jump wrap around the side of like the flat part of the X pusher. Line this up and then go backwards against the direction they're going. Then jump onto this truss, climb down the truss, and either shift flick or just flick off to get down to the lower truss. Jump around, be careful there. It's a pretty thin wall. Jump late, and then flick off and hug around the cylinder to land this jump. It's not very precise. Be careful, just make sure you time it, go through the gaps, don't get pushed off, be ready to adjust. A long jump and aim to climb that. A long jump this, and then be careful of the corner there and flick into the platform. Jump forward facing to the truss, flick around it, and then shift flick off. Do this like a long jump, pretty simple. Do a bit of a wiggle there, and then turn around and jump late onto the slope. Again, just some more basic jumps to pad out the tower. Jump backwards around that jump. Do this like a head hitter, it's not very difficult. Flick off here, flick off there, flick up. Now you gotta go backwards, do that like a long jump. Just be careful onto this truss, and shift flick off onto the slope. One more 10 stud wrap, and now you have a net again on floor 9.
Alright. So floor 9 starts off. This will be a TP net throughout the entire inside. Jump late there. Climb onto this truss and flick off onto here. Flick or walk around the ladder. Simple wrap. Jump onto here and just jump directly onto the X pusher. Do a wrap around this. Jump, you gotta flick off. You have a bit of time, it's not super tight. Flick off and then make sure you push forward at that angle into there. And then jump from a 45-degree angle to a 45-degree angle. Set up about this height like so. Exit shift lock, walk backward, reshift, and grab onto the ladder. Go on the very edge and jump off like so. Flick into this and then jump off from there. Long jump, another long jump, another long jump. Just be careful on these. Flick off, flick back in. Jump late there. On this, you're going to want to go out and kind of wrap around the edge like so. This takes a bit of practice. Be careful on this outside because you will lose your progress. Shift flick off here. Jump late, get onto this, build up a bit of momentum, jump to the 1 stud. And then you're back inside. Be careful here. Jump, wiggle back, wiggle forward. Or you can go on the front side if that's easier for you. This might take a little bit of practice. Practice 9 to 10 for sure. Jump late off there. Jump in the middle there. Onto the ladder. And then again, jump off late. Just be careful. Another outside section. Jump onto this truss. Walk around. And then shift flick onto this truss. You can flick off or walk around and shift flick on that as well. Just be careful on these spinners. Don't do anything dumb. You should be fine. Flick up here. Jump around to the 1 stud. 10 stud wrap. Careful on this long jump. Careful on that jump. And then flick in to land on that 1 stud. And now you're on the final floor. Jump in the middle of the spinner to get through the gap and jump off quickly. Hold jump onto the truss. Shift flick, hold jump onto the 1 stud. Careful here. Gonna want to go like this. Take a second and then line up and do this jump backwards. You have a bit of time to stop on the platform. Careful there. Flick off here. Again, you have a bit of time and just aim to climb that. Jump around to the left there. Flick onto here. Go a bit lower than the top. Do that. Jump immediately after corner flipping there. Jump forwards onto the truss. Flick around it and then flick off to here. Jump to the back of the conveyor and then jump late. Careful on this 2-stud walk around. Climb onto the ladder. Flick. The back of this platform is safe. And then corner flip when the thing moves away. Backwards there. Careful on that jump. Set this up like a wall boosted high jump or a long jump. Careful through that gap. Make sure you don't bump into the wall. Pretty simple wrap. And then just stand on one of the non-kill bricks and wait. Jump off onto here. Set this up like a long jump. Careful. Take the corner a bit wide so you don't graze it. Again, I don't actually know what happens if you hit this teleporter, but I assume it just sends you back a bit. Climb to the bottom of this truss and flick or shift lock off and grab onto the platform. Walk carefully diagonally across these half studs. Flick off here. Another 10 stud wrap, slightly angled, so be mindful of that. Go onto this push box and then inch your way into one of these gaps. Careful there. Jump around to here and then flick in to land on the platform. Take that pretty tight, jump late, pretty hard jump. Careful on this one stud, and then flick and turn slightly angled to fit into that gap. Jump around and onto this one stud. Again, be careful. This part is netted because it's on the inside. Now the 6, in case you couldn't tell, this is just like repeating the previous floors. This part's unnetted, so be careful here. Walk across, flick onto the platform, be super careful there. One stud walk around, another small walk around. Just be really careful, set these up, take your time. Don't rush and you should be fine. Jump and aim forward facing onto that platform to climb it. Flick in there. Be careful on this jump, aim to climb. And then jump back and flick in there, and then flick in onto the slope. It's like a long jump. You've got to go backwards across the spinners. Be careful there. Flick around this and onto the platform with the X pusher. Take the X pusher, be careful, get back inside. Again, you have this one stud out mechanic. Pretty simple jump. Careful, flick in there. Jump and then corner flip to land on this platform, and then you're going to want to jump to the inside of it. There should be a little marking there. Jump, and then as you fall back down, do it again to land on this platform. Flick in there, turn around, jump onto this truss. You can go on the side of the truss or just do that. And then this is a pretty hard timing. Definitely practice this. One of the harder jumps. Tap, and then tap again there to land the jump. Pretty difficult timing. Failed it a few times in this run. Long jump onto there, and then onto there. Almost done with the tower. Final outside. Super careful on these. You can't climb it, so just do them like a standard walk around. Careful there. Turn around like this, and then climb onto the ladder, and then flick off at the end to ensure you don't walk off or something stupid. Go on the left side here. Basically just a long jump. You can flick in if you want at the end a little bit. Jump onto this up line. This jump is pretty far, so you're going to want to build up a bit of momentum. It's not super important, but just be careful. You don't want to mess this up. Make sure the walls are out of the way before you go. And then just stand on the inside and make sure to watch out for the wall as you go around. Then you're going to have to get through this part quick. Be ready. Jump. Flick off once you touch the wall. And then once you land, flick off again immediately. Land on this platform. Long jump. One last wrap around. Be careful here. And then jump off right before you get to the blue into this. Now you have one real jump left of the tower, kind of. You're basically done. Don't fail this, please. Go across these, forward facing. Just be careful. Don't do anything dumb. And then you have this. My footage got corrupted, but yeah, it's just it's a 10 stud wrap, but easier. And if you fail that last jump, you actually get another chance. Yeah, there you go. I don't know what happened to my footage. I had to like re-edit the video because it got bugged out or something. That's about it. So if you fail that last jump, you do get another chance with just a normal 10 stud. Congratulations. You have beaten the Tower of Rough Endoplasmic Reticulum. Pretty cool win room. Go up here. There's some messages. That's about it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.